Hey guys, so this topic was actually um, inspired by a conversation that I had with one of my friends. And she's talking about how she's overwhelmed when it comes to working on her health and fitness because, her doctor told her that she needs to, change her habits when it comes to her health and then also incorporate fitness. And she said that she doesn't know where to start because um years ago she used to have a trainer, and when you have a trainer you have somebody telling you what to do, what to eat. They create a plan for you for food wise and a plan for you when it comes to working out, so it just makes it easy for you. You know what to do. And I know for a lot of people that's what really works for them. Like, you just need somebody to help you to do everything you need to do to reach your goals. You just need somebody who has that authority, that has the knowledge to help you to reach your goals. And she's talking about like how um, the way it was done health wise, like the plan she was on health wise, was not sustainable. Um, and she just doesn't know where to start now because, you know, starting to get back into fitness because she hasn't done that in a while, and start and changing, the way she eats and all that it's a lot. It's overwhelming. And that is perfectly understandable. It's so easy for us to be overwhelmed. And you could be overwhelmed not just only in health and fitness, because I like to help people in that area. But you could be overwhelmed with changing. You have to change a habit. You want to start, different projects. You have all these ideas, but you don't know where to start. You want to start a business, but you don't know where to begin, how to even just start from step one. Like, you just don't know where to start. It could be a number of things, and you just feel overwhelmed. Maybe you're overwhelmed as a parent, like what to do, like how to um, parent right, or how to help your kids to do better in school. Like, these all these other options, whether they should be in school, whether they should homeschool, whether they should do certain activities, whether they should read certain stuff, whether we should watch certain stuff, and like, should you have them, you know practice a religion or not. Like, it just, there's so many things that overwhelm us, especially as moms. And I'm speaking from experience because I was currently, for a while, overwhelmed because I wanted to start. I wanted to focus on grow my YouTube channel. I wanted to grow my audience on Instagram. I want to grow my audience on Facebook. I want to grow my audience on TikTok. I want to grow on Pinterest, because I know all those avenues are great ways to create extra income besides relying on just my job. And, and biblically, it is said that, God would likes us to create, multiple streams of income, because you just never know what disaster may come, and you don't want to be left you know, in a bind. And I'm just paraphrasing. Um, so, my desire is to create multiple streams of income to secure my family and to help others, to be of service to others in the kingdom, to help people who are less fortunate, not just only help myself and my family. Like, I want to be effective in the kingdom, as a Christian. And we're called to help others and to give, generously, um, to give, um, what is it? To give, to be cheerful givers. Sorry. Oh my gosh. I had a brain fart. be cheerful givers. We're called be cheerful givers. And that's hard when you're struggling, right? So I got overwhelmed because I was like, I'm trying to do many things. I'm listening to different like influencers on like what to do to grow your audience, what to do to grow your YouTube channel, to the point that I was just like, I don't know what to do anymore. Like I was getting so frustrated. Um, I'm like crying and I'm like, I just don't know what to do. I'm stuck. Nothing is working. I'm listening to all the things that these people are telling me what to do, but I just don't know where to begin, where to start. I'm implementing some of the things, but it's not working. I'm not getting the same result as everybody else. And one thing the Lord told me, and also my husband, was that focus on one thing. And sometimes overwhelm, especially for me, and maybe for you too, overwhelm comes when we feel like we are behind, because I have been comparing myself to people younger than me and who are making six figures, who have big channels, who have a huge following, who have a business, have multiple streams of income and are doing well, and they, helping their community and doing all these things, and they're younger than me. And I'm like, I'm 38, I should be further along. And it's like, who set that standard? Because God didn't say in the Bible that by 38 you should be doing this, 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 and this. Because when you look in the Bible, a lot of the great men and women in the Bible, a lot of them did great things when they were much older. And they lived for much longer than we did. You know, they were like 100+ years. And that's when, God chosen to fulfill a purpose. And, I don't think they thought, man, I should have been doing this when I was 20. I should have been doing this when I was 30, you know. I'm guessing they didn't think that way. They didn't really focus on the age. They did focus on the abilities, but maybe they did think of the age. I know with Sarah, she did think of her age. Sarah and Abraham, they did think of the age when it came to having kids. Like, oh, we're old already. Like, how can we have kids? But, you know, they had a child and later in their life when they were super old. Noah built the ark. He was old. He was not 20 years old. He was old. Um, and Moses was old too when he led the Israelites. So, it's we put I remember seeing a video that says that she embraced, you know, being behind, and it just made her life so much easier because society puts all these constraints, but really we shouldn't even be looking at that. We should just do what we're supposed to do in that moment, in that season, and then go from there. I used to look back, I used to say to God, I'm like, I wish I knew what I knew now and all the knowledge that I have now, the skills that I'm learning now. I wish I knew that all the stuff when years ago when I was a stay at home with my kids, because I had more time to implement these skills, to implement the knowledge that I'm receiving, to grow a channel. I had more time because I was at home. And I remember the Lord's telling me that that was not the season for that. It was not a season for you to build a business. And there were times, trust me, there were times I joined like network marketing companies, um, direct selling companies, through people that I knew through like friends from church, and they didn't work out. And the Lord, was like, well, you didn't consult me, you didn't include them, you just went ahead and did it. So that's why it didn't work out. It's not because I didn't want you to prosper, I didn't want you to do well, but you did not include me in those plans. I could have directed you to something else, but you didn't include me. And he said that that was not the season for you to do what you're doing now. That was season to spend time with your kids. You know, they were little, they needed a lot of your attention, and you created great memories. And a lot of mothers don't have that privilege to be with their kids 24/7 and not work. Now, granted, during that season, we were struggling financially because we had one income. So we didn't have the luxury to go on vacations, even though I had the time to do that. You know, we didn't have the luxury to do that. But I became very creative during that time. I found different ways to do things with my kids. I took them out a lot, went to the park, swimming, did different activities, met other moms, you know, and did play dates. So, you know, and I was always outside with them, and it created, and they ended up loving being outside and not being in front of the screen all the time. You know, I would always say when they're little, I wish that they'd like to watch TV so that I could get work done, but they did not care about the TV. They did not care about any screen time. They wanted to be on top of me or, you know, outside. And I had to be outside with them because they were little. So, yeah, it was all about them. But I'm grateful for that time. And it was just not the season for me to grow financially, to create multiple streams of income. And now is the time, but I feel like I just don't have enough time. And you probably feel that way too because you have so many ideas. And, you know, the Lord told me, like, just focus on one thing. Yes, I gave you many ideas, but that doesn't mean do everything at the same time. Focus on one thing first. And I decided, you know, let me just focus on YouTube and just put everything else on the back burner, even though I have ideas for my Etsy store and creating digital products and all that stuff. Can do that later. I picked one thing, and that's YouTube, to grow on YouTube. And I was just like, Lord, you just have to give me the strategy on what to do because I'm so tired of listening to all these um, all these strategies online. Yes, they're great. They know what they're doing. They know what they're talking about. But you are the ultimate knowledge, wisdom. So I'm just going to learn from you and just show me what to do. And he gave me a strategy, and I hope I heard right because sometimes I doubt myself when it comes to hearing the Holy Spirit, hearing God. You know, I really doubt myself. So I'm going to take a leap of faith and just trust that what I feel he told me is the right strategy and just go from there. And if I was wrong, that's okay. He will let me know and direct me into the right path because it says that in the word. He directs us in the right path when we go astray. So yeah, so if you are overwhelmed, you know, it can be like me, just pick one thing. I say pick one thing, like for your health. And you know, I don't like to tell people what to do, specific things to do when it comes to health, because not one size fits all when it comes to food. Um, because you know, it can be tricky when it comes to diet plans. Not everybody's meant to be vegan. Not everybody's supposed to do paleo. Not everybody's supposed to be a pescatarian, and not everybody's supposed to be doing keto. You know, and online people like to follow somebody who has been successful with a certain diet plan, and they think that that will work out for them, and then when they try it, it doesn't work out, they get frustrated and they're back to square one. So really a game changer is focusing on your blood type. Now, I've mentioned it in one of my videos, and I will go into detail another time, another video. I'll go into detail about why um, focusing on your blood type is the right way to go, is the best way to go. But also listen to your doctor. I'm not saying don't listen to your doctor. Also listen to your doctor, but if you like to do your research and you want to try something to implement to really change your health and fitness, look into blood type, eating according to your blood type, and also working out according to your blood type. Um, because you're doing things that is designed for your body. And the thing I like about blood type, this has been around for like 20 years. So probably a lot of people know about this, but just haven't implemented it for some reason. I only found out about this like 2 years ago, but it has really helped me out a lot. Um, I have been lazy to implement it, but this year I was just like, I am going to start implementing it because, again, I felt overwhelmed because I was like, I don't know where to start. So first, I would say before you even like look, Google food lists and whatever and what type of workout to do, first find out, just do one thing, find out your blood type. Start with that first. Once you know your blood type, then think of going to Google and searching food list and the type of workout you should do for the blood, excuse me, for your blood type. Now, when you see the food list, you're going to be overwhelmed because there'll be a lot of things probably you'll see that you're supposed to avoid, and then a lot of things that you're supposed to eat, and then there's also a neutral list. I will first start off with looking at the things that are good for you and looking to see what are the things you're already eating that are good for you, and then be like, great, keep on eating those things, and then change one thing that is bad for you on the list, and exchange it for one good thing that is good for you. Replace it with one good thing that is good for you. So look at the bad list and see what is one thing that you are currently consuming a lot of that you're supposed to avoid. Pick that one thing and decide, okay, I'm not going to, and for 2 weeks, say I'm gonna take that out of my diet, and then pick one thing that you do not eat that is on the good list that is good for you, and be like, to replace that thing I'm gonna take out, I'm gonna add this one thing, and then eat everything else that whatever else you're eating that is good, that is on the list, continue eating that, but just focus on one, and then every 2 weeks, just do that. Just focus on one, because when you try to eliminate everything and then replace it with it, one, it can be costly for you. Two, it create overwhelm, and then you will just stop, and then you'll just be discouraged, and you'll be down on yourself, and then you'll be like, oh my gosh, there's something wrong with me. Why can't I just follow this simple thing one at a time? Just do one at a time, and then look at the workout. Pick one type of workout it recommends for your blood type, and then try it, and pick something that you think would be easy for you. That way you're not stressed about it and it's not a burden. And then just every 2 weeks, just make changes one by one. And in no time, you'll see that you have completely changed the way that you eat. And probably now you're eating everything on the food list that you're supposed to eat. And you have avoided a lot of the bad stuff that you're supposed to avoid. Um, for me, I was also looking at the supplements. I was like, I want to start incorporating, supplements more consistently, that are good for my blood type. So that's what I did. I read, I have the book. I read the book, and I looked at, the supplements, read why I should get those supplements, and then, went on Amazon and purchased those supplements for my husband and I, because we're both blood type O, and going from there. And I'm changing little by little from the food list what I should eat and what I should not eat. Neutral, I would say, they say neutral is foods that you should eat once in a while. You shouldn't eat it all the time. So I wouldn't focus too much on the neutral list. But look at the good one, what's good for you and what's bad for you, and then go from there and one at a time. And apply this to anything else. Just do things one at a time. I'm focusing on one social media medium, online medium, YouTube, and putting everything else to the side. And when God tells me to, do other things and to go back to those, then I will. Once in a while, I'll post on Facebook. And I'll give you another example. My husband is also a person who inspired me to just focus on one thing and not be overwhelmed, because he also has many interests. He's talented in many things. And there was a time he wanted to do many things. And then there's one time he's just like, I'm going to focus on one thing, that is writing a book, and just no matter what, just focus on that. Even though I really want to do other things, just really focus on that. And once I publish it and, launch it, then I'll do other things. And he stuck to it. Even though it took 2 years for him to write the book, he stuck to it. And it ended up being a great novel. So many people loved the novel. I got to help him, guide him on how to design the cover and how to launch. And I don't really post on Facebook, but the one time I did post on Facebook was to promote his book, and people start buying and people are loving his novel. It's an amazing novel. And that's because he focused on that. He wanted to do something. He knows he is gifted in writing, and he focused on that and did not do anything else besides his job. He works too. He has a job. He did that, but when he came home, that's what he focused on. And he and that and he was successful in executing the plan. And now people get to enjoy the fruits of his labor, and to enjoy his wonderful gift of writing. And people really love his books, so that really inspired me, and to just focus on one thing. And so what if you're behind? God didn't say we're behind, and he can get you ahead. He can replace those years you lost in just like this. So don't worry about it. And I'm talking to myself. Don't worry about feeling behind. Don't have FOMO, because I also have that problem, FOMO. And just focus on one thing at a time, and you will gain progress. When you're doing multiple things at the same time, it just won't work. And then another thing that I want to do is read the Bible in a year. And my goal was to do every day at night. I mean, that's not possible, because some nights are busy, some nights, are not. So I just told myself, you know what? I'm just going to, whenever I'm free, which is usually on my days off, early in the morning, I'm going to use that time to read the Bible and study it. And even though it's March and I'm on day 12, that's okay. The fact is, at least I'm reading the word and I'm spending time with God. And that's what he wants. He wants us to be in our word, spending time, and I'm learning, and I'm gaining revelation. And maybe as time goes by, I'll be able to read every single evening, the Bible, the 3 chapters, because usually 3 chapters a day. Maybe, later on I'll be able to, but at least it's better something than nothing, right? At least I started, and I'm doing it on the days I am free, and I'm not rushing, and I actually have time to just study and understand and pray and gain revelation and understand and wisdom, and see things differently than I did before. I understand, I'm learning so much more than I did before, when I was just reading quickly just to you know, mark it off with God that, hey, I read the Bible today. Like, I'm really enjoying and just taking my time. So this was not meant to be this long, and I didn't charge my phone on purpose so that I can see that my battery is dying and hurry up and not ramble. So I hope that was helpful. If you feel overwhelmed, just ask yourself, are you doing too many things that you're not supposed to? Or are you feeling left behind? Are you comparing yourself to someone else? Are you coveting, what other people have, and now you just feel overwhelmed so you can reach where they're at? If your answer is yes to any of those things, then you just need to stop, ask the Lord for guidance to focus on one thing, and also for self-control. That I had to pray for that, thanks to my mentor who told me sometimes it's a self-control issue. So as for self-control, which is one of the fruits of the spirit, if you're a Christian and you have the fruit, the Holy Spirit living in you, that means you'll have the fruit of the spirit. And ask for self-control. So I had to ask for that self-control, time management, and to just focus on one thing at a time. So I hope that is helpful. I just thought I should just pop in and share that with you guys, because that is something that I'm struggling with too, is being overwhelmed and being all over the place. Okay. Um, Make sure to comment, like, and let me know what you think. And hopefully that was helpful. Bye.